name is Simon. I am the stupid astronomer because I do the stupid things so you don't have to, and this is a warning. Do not try this at home. I get to do this because I want to show you guys the construction behind one of these cameras and actually how good they are. So let's get started. Okay, so let's check out the camera construction. Now this is actually a CNC machined piece of aluminium. Yes, I said aluminium, not aluminum. And also has a sealed chamber for the actual sensor itself. So now I'm going to go crack this guy open so you can see inside and actually see the PCB where the sensor is actually housed. Once I've removed the top cover, you'll actually see that there is a dew heater built inside of the actual window itself. That's what all of these transistors are on this little cable that's dangling out. Now let's take a look at the PCB where the CMOS sensor is actually mounted. You'll notice that it's actually been coated in a plastic of some description, and this is actually designed to stop moisture from penetrating the PCB. So this actually means that the actual camera will last a lot longer than most other brands. One of the important points behind having this coating is so there is no oxidization occurring on any of the contacts. Over time, when you use your camera out in some cold conditions or even humid areas, water or any kind of moisture will slowly corrode any type of electronics. Having this coating actually prevents all of this from happening. So now we're going to take a quick look at the back side of this camera. I removed the rear plate and I'm going to take off the casing so you can see inside the internal components. Now I'm not going to expose the cooler itself because there's not much point. It's just a bunch of fins and heat sinks and God knows what else is probably hiding in there. But the important thing here is to look at the actual construction of the USB port. The most common thing that occurs with USB ports is by constantly inserting and removing a USB cable, the port can actually break. These USB ports are threaded directly through the PCB and hard soldered in. As you can see, even with a fair amount of tugging, nothing actually breaks apart. The great thing here is it is not actually attached to the outer casing in any shape or form, meaning that this camera can actually take quite a beating. So just a quick history lesson here. The QHY 174 cooled camera was actually one of the first large style cameras that featured Peltier cooling. In this particular case, they actually kept the actual board and transferred it across to all of the cameras that started to use this type of cooler, hence why they still have this board with this particular name. So remember I said this camera can take a beating? I've actually plugged this guy in and we're going to hit it. In fact, I'm going to abuse this thing. Oh, well, let's make sure this thing still works. Yep, it actually still works, believe it or not. QHY actually spent a lot of time in the construction of this camera to make sure that it was incredibly durable. In fact, so durable, they actually did a few of these tests similar to what I'm doing, right down to smacking the living daylights out of it. If you keep an eye on my laptop in the background, each time I cover up the sensor, you can actually see it going from white to black. That just shows that the camera is still actually functioning and that there are no issues. Now, I'm not going to pretend that I've never dropped a camera before because quite honestly, I have. And it's good to know that a QHY camera can actually take quite a beating or even a drop. In fact, earlier on, I tested this up to 6 feet and still did not have any problems. So there you have it. This is a look at the construction of a QHY camera, and to be totally honest, I'm actually quite impressed. So as far as I'm concerned, buying a camera like this, it's going to last you pretty much a lifetime. Well, depending if it goes out of date, that's another story. But hey, at least I know this thing can take some abuse. Remember, don't try this at home and do not open up your camera. This will invalidate your warranty.